Hello, and welcome to my future as an educator. I want to first start out by introducing myself. My name is Francine. I'm an educational studies major here at Arizona State, planning on graduating in June, which I'm very excited about. My desired future track is to be a middle school history teacher. History is my passion, and I would love to try to make history fun. I know it's a class that isn't normally a strength for some, so I would like to be able to help my students feel confident in the classroom. Becoming a history teacher, regardless of the grade, will set me up for a happy future because teaching is also my passion. I find it to be self-rewarding to be able to help others, and I will have this opportunity daily in this selected field. What are my strengths? I like to believe that I have more strengths than not, but I wanted to highlight a few that I think will help in my future career as an educator. I have the ability to recognize patterns. I work with empathy in mind. I communicate effectively. I'm very hardworking, and I have the willingness to learn. In my future career, I want to utilize recognizing patterns, and I have created a better work environment at my current place of employment through this skill set. Instead of allowing my brain to create a response based on previous actions, I have learned to reply by sitting back and thinking about what it is I want to say. I have learned to sit back, relax, and take a minute or two to construct my thoughts when working towards a goal with my employees. Leadership skills. Having leadership skills for my future career is very important to me. I have worked in the service industry for over 10 years now as a supervisor, so I've gained a lot of experience in leadership. Something I've learned from this class and will utilize in my future career is the ABC method, which basically allows us to work through a pessimistic mindset and invoke a shade of optimism in our life. ABC method stands for an activating event, your reaction, and your outcome. So this is something I currently do in my job and something I think will make me a successful educator. Thinking about what you say before you say it, or recognizing that you may need to think longer before responding, is a good leadership skill because it allows you to fully process what someone is saying. Working around students, especially younger ones, since I'm looking to do middle school history, I really will need to think before I reply or say something that could upset them. I want them to feel understood in my classroom and look up to me, and the only way I can do that is through showing strong leadership skills. What is my motivation? Well, my number one motivation are my two cats. I have another one, but she is not pictured here. And they are just my daily motivation to want to create a better life as well as myself. Becoming a teacher has been my goal from the start of school, and my motivations have changed over the years. I would like to say that my main motivation is myself because I want to help children succeed in school, as did so many teachers and professors who have looked out for me throughout the years have. They've inspired me to want to teach others about history, my passion for it, and why it matters. I wanted to include the 9 motivational techniques from our reading. These 9 techniques are something I can utilize in my future career immensely. First, by finding a mentor who will guide me towards the right path. I want to build my self-esteem up by bringing out the best version of myself for my future students. And I also want to make sure I am a planner and I have an organized schedule for both myself and my students. I definitely plan on following all of these techniques and applying them to my future career. Role models. So I have a lot of role models in education, but I took the time to research a few who stood out to me. I want to first begin with Maria Montessori, who I had previously done a project on only a few weeks ago. She was incredibly intelligent, and she initially attended medical school before ultimately opening up a children's house that focused on the term auto education. A period of great expansion in the Montessori approach now followed. Montessori societies, training programs, and schools sprang to life all over the world, and from then on, Montessori's life would be dedicated to spreading the educational approach she had developed by delivering courses and giving lectures in many countries. She inspires me to give my students activities that are designed to help them learn, as opposed to helping them learn by in other ways. Next, we have Margaret Bancroft, who is considered a pioneer in special education. I want to teach my students to live with inclusion and diversity in mind and to always treat others how you want to be treated. Children in the 1800s who had developmental disabilities were not provided an education. Bancroft recognized this and opened her own school in my home state, New Jersey. Margaret Bancroft recognized that such children have the ability to learn when given individualized attention, patience, and love, and decided to devote her life to this purpose. That is something I will definitely live by in my future career. Lastly, we have Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, who is a civil rights pioneer and activist. She has achieved, in my opinion, the most out of three role models I have chosen, and her work is incredibly important even today. Her philosophy, quote, "My philosophy of education is the basic principle upon which my life has been built. That is the threefolding training of head, hand, heart. I believe in a rounded education with a belief in the dignity and refinement of labor, in doing well whatever task is assigned to me." End quote. Her philosophy is something I want to live by in my future career track. I plan on utilizing this approach as well as teaching about her in my classes, where more students can look up to her and her impact on history. Next, we have implementing empathy and advocacy. Empathy is the ability to recognize and appropriately respond to other people's actions. I strive to be empathetic in all aspects of my life. I am trying to understand where people are coming from and why they react in certain ways. As noted in our reading, quote, "Leaders with empathy are able to attune to a wide range of emotional signals, letting them sense the felt but unspoken emotions in a person or group. Empathy makes a leader able to get along well with people of diverse backgrounds or from other cultures," end quote. I will utilize empathy in my future career as an educator by learning to understand my students. I want them to feel comfortable in my classroom, and I would love for them to come to me with issues and feel confident I can help them. As for advocacy, I want to always advocate for my students. Responding with empathy will help me advocate for them where necessary, and I will make it a goal of mine to do this in my future classroom. My noble goals. Noble goals activate all of the other elements of emotional intelligence because they shape our long-term choices and keep us centered on our decisions and commitments. I am passionate about this career track. I want to make a difference in the world, even if it's just in my own classroom. I want to be impactful on my students and for them to remember me as a great educator, and it will also give me a stable income. Thinking about my noble goals was quite difficult but rewarding. I had never thought about what in this career track will I see as long-term impactful. I want to help others and make myself feel good, as well as educate those who need to be in ways that are exciting and noteworthy. To me, this career goal is my passion, hence why I'm pursuing it. People with a sense of purpose are driven, focused, committed, and lit up from the inside, unable to be deterred or distracted from what they believe is the reason they're on this planet at the time. Overall, my noble goals are focused on the success of my future career track, and I, of course, won't know until I'm an educator, but I have these goals and passions, and I cannot wait to watch them come alive.